Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the Tater Chat channel. I'm Tater Pop, and I was just reflecting about some time earlier in my life as a soldier when I was serving back in 1984 when I was stationed in South Korea. And I recall that I would go to the library and I would pick up books, but I never finished reading them. Now, a teammate of mine was always poking fun at me because I was doing this. He was a high school graduate and I was not. I had a GED and in many ways kind of felt inferior to him. He seemed like he was so smart because one of the things he did growing up was study the dictionary so he could define pretty much any word you would challenge him to define. It was quite impressive to say the least. And I recall one of the primary reasons I had to join the Army was to learn and get some education. We were all told this growing up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and maybe we're doing it even today. Go to college, get an education, get a job. Kind of reminds me of that song by George Thorogood, Get a Haircut and Get a Real Job. But I had a real job and I had a haircut thanks to the Army. Anyway, I started taking classes on my off duty time, and I had to take remedial English and math classes. And during the next 5 years, I had earned enough credits to get an associate's degree, but I didn't have the right classes to actually earn an associate's degree. So I spent a lot of time in the field environment, doing military training, long days, 18-hour days sometimes, sweating, freezing. And then there were some of those perfect days of weather too. Um, but the point I'm trying to make is that I was focused and demanded of myself that I push through and earn my degree. But some of it was really to prove a point to others, maybe, but I was in competition with myself when it all unfolded and I discovered what I was really doing. And I was really the only person I needed to prove something to, me, myself, and I. So I was real intentional about growing myself, even though during those days I had no clue really what that I was doing. I was just doing, right? I was thought I was being intentional and I was earning credits for classes one by one, 8 weeks at a time, so that I could earn that degree. Now, I was intentional about learning and taking classes, but I was not intentional about what classes to take, which took me a bit longer to earn my associate's degree, which was really truthfully a bit painful because I had to do that extra work. And we'll talk about the law of pain in later videos. This one here is really about, you know, the law of intentionality. So I was focusing on my personal growth, and as a result, I hit my educational goals over the next 22 years, earning a Bachelor of Science in Business, earned two master's degree programs that were related to training and education for adults. Also had the opportunity to attend many formal education requirements for leadership development while was serving in the Army. It kind of sort of reminds me of a quote by James Allen. People are anxious to improve their circumstances, but unwilling to improve themselves. Therefore, they remain bound. And I really did see this all around me during those early years and even today sometimes, where most of the folks that I uh, interact with or work with didn't take advantage of growing and the opportunities of getting more education and developing themselves so that they could make tomorrow better than it is today. But we have our own paths to follow. But I suspect that maybe they figured that, hey, I'm a high school graduate, so why do I need to keep on going to school? Or, I got a bachelor's degree, why do I need to keep on going to school? I got a job, why do I got to keep on taking classes, that kind of thing. Um, Hopefully, I'm not putting words into people's mouths, but some of it is so true, I think. And at that time, I just didn't see any action being taken by some of the people around me to grow themselves. I'm not judging again whether what's good or what's bad. I'm only trying to talk about what my experience was. So, okay, we're going to stop it here anyway, but I want you to stay tuned because we're going to talk more about some of these growth traps that we encounter in our lives. And so, hey, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe and share these videos if we're adding value to you. And if we are, we're going to see you in the next session when we're going to discover some of our growth traps. I'll see you then. Tater Pop out.